Hi everybody. Thank you for clicking on this message. In today's episode, we will be talking about how to find calm in the storms of life. So we will be going through Mark chapter 4, verse 35 to 41. So feel free to follow along in your Bibles. Okay, I'm going to start reading and then we'll talk about it and discuss it just now. It's entitled, Jesus Calms the Sea. And that same day, when the evening was come, he said unto them, Let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him, even as it was in the ship, and there were also with him other little ships. So let's picture this. So Jesus says to his disciples, let's go over to the other side. So they all get in the boat or the ship and they go to the other side. And there's lots of other little boats around them as well. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him, even as it was in the ship. And there was also ships around him. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, and now it was full. So basically, there arose a big storm, and everything was going so wild, and we can just picture this moment where it's probably raining and stormy, and the wind is blowing really hard, and like everyone's starting to panic, like, are we gonna die? What's gonna happen? Will we ever get to the other side? Will the ship sink? Like, you go through all these emotions and worries. And then in the next verse it says, and Jesus was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. So I think it's saying, like, in the ship, like the bottom, like below the deck, I suppose, would have been like a place for the crew or the passengers to like rest or sleep if they're going on a long journey or, travel or something. So there Jesus was sleeping on a pillow. And they awake him and said, Master, do you not care if we drown? And he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no little faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said to one another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Okay, let's go through it and see what the disciples make of the situation and the story, and then how Jesus heals it, and yeah. So, everything was fine when they started out going to the other side, and then maybe like halfway or sometime there rose a big storm. Now Jesus knows everything, and Jesus is God, so they both know like what would happen. So he planned that he was going to sleep and see how they would handle this situation. And everything was so wild. It was windy and stormy and probably raining. And the disciples were getting so worried and stressed. Like, I probably would too. I'd be like, what's going to happen? I'm going to die. And the disciples had seen Jesus do miracles and heal the sick and raise the dead and lots of other amazing things. So they knew that Jesus was with them, but they didn't like feel his presence. Or so I think Jesus was testing them to see how much they could go through the situation without asking God's help or something. So then he said in verse 39, it says, "And he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And then he said, Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have little faith?" So we can see here that he was clearly testing them, like on a spiritual level. Jesus can do anything. It would be so easy for him to calm the sea and tell the wind to die down, but he was speaking to them on a spiritual level and testing them. So he asked the question to see how much faith they had. And then they acted or responded in verse 41 it says, "And they feared exceedingly and said to one another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" So you can imagine, like, if Jesus and God can make it calm in that instant, then he's so powerful and amazing and wonderful, and they feared even more. So that's a bit like the situations in life that we go through. Like, we often fear about the future and what's going to happen and how is the situation going to turn out. But sometimes we just need to be still and know and trust God and know that he is with us through whatever we go through. And we can see here that the disciples the first thing that they went through was like fear, and then afterwards they had faith, or their faith was tested, should I say. So yeah, I just wanted to say, whatever situation you're going through, just really trust God, although it may be hard sometimes. The more we trust God, the more faith we'll have. And then when he tests us with more situations and trials, then we'll be able to respond have more faith, and God will obviously help you all the way through. So that's the message for today. I hope it encouraged you in some way, and I'm looking forward to meeting you again and seeing what our next chapter is going to be about. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload another video. And hope you have a really great week. Okay, bye.